Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start, I will first introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Amirul Iqbal bin Ahmad Shafi'i and my metric number is 050024. So, for today's discussion of a topic that has given to us for ethics subject, which are: is our Malaysian bar free from political influence? Discuss the importance of having an independent bar in Malaysia. So, is our Malaysian bar free from political influence? And my answer is yes. In discussing this, I will give my explanation for the answer, the importance of having an independent bar in Malaysia. In the New Straits Times paper cutting, the government will not allow the Bar Council to become a politically influenced body. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Muhammad Nazri Aziz, was adamant in rejecting a proposal which would allow members of parliament to sit on the Bar Council. He said the Bar Council should remain apolitical. The Bar Council should not be dragged into politics. It should be free of both government and opposition politics, said Nazri while debating amendments to the legal profession at 1976. In addition of that, Kula Segarang, a lawyer by training, said the restrictions were inconsistent with the principle of freedom of association. MPs, politicians and trade unionists should be allowed to sit on the Bar Council as well. Nazri, who is also a lawyer by training, said he was only interested in the best interests of lawyers. When someone joins the profession, that means he wants to be a lawyer, not a politician or an assemblyman. The Bar Council should be apolitical, he said. The government does not agree with Kula Segarang, he added. I believe in freedom of association, but the Bar Council must remain free of politics. Its members have always expressed their opinions from the legal perspective, and it should remain that way, said Wong, who is also a lawyer. In the second newspaper cutting of New Straits Times Online, the Malaysian Bar is outraged by statements reportedly made on 23 and 24 October 2016 by the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Abdul Rahman Dahlan, that the government is looking at blacklisting companies that support the pro-democracy movement Bersih. In Malaysia kini, the minister is further reported to have said that we will also blacklist the law firms who have contract with the government-linked companies who support Bersih. I urge government-linked companies not to directly engage the services of these law firms, and that the government will also look at lawyers who are involved in the movement. So, from this newspaper cutting, the action that has been proposed by the minister is clearly unconstitutional, as it reeks of prejudice and would contravene the protection against discrimination that has been set out in Article 8 of the Federal Constitution. In addition of that, Article 5 protects the rights to life, which includes the right to a livelihood. Any attempts to victimize lawyers or law firms would impinge upon this fundamental right. Further from that, the proposed action contravenes international law. The Universal Declaration on the Independence of Justice, which is also known as the Montreal Declaration, clearly set out the following: the lawyer, in discharging his duties, shall at all times act freely, diligently, and fearlessly in accordance with the wishes of his client and subject to the established rules, standards, and ethics of his profession without any inhibition or pressure from the authorities of the public. Next, every person and group of persons is entitled to call upon the assistance of a lawyer to defend his or its interests or cause within the law, and it is the duty of the lawyer to do so to the best of his ability. Consequently, the lawyer is not identified by the authorities or the public with his client or his client's cause, however popular or unpopular it may be. Next, no lawyer shall suffer or be threatened with penal, civil, administrative, economic or other sections by reason of his having advised or represent any client or client's cause. Similar principles have been initiated in the United Nations Basic Principle on the Role of Lawyers. In particular, Principle 16 and 18 states as follows. Principle 16, government shall ensure that lawyers A. are able to perform all of their professional functions without intimidation, harassment or improper interference. B. are able to travel to and to consult with their clients freely both within their own country and abroad. And C. shall not suffer or be threatened with prosecution or administrative, economic or other sanction for any action taken in accordance with recognized professional duties, standards and ethics. Principle 18 stated that lawyers shall not be identified with their clients or their clients' causes as a result of discharging their functions. Moreover, these United Nations basic principles go further and affirm the rights of lawyers as individuals to freedom of expression, belief, association, and assembly. Principle 23 states that lawyers, like other citizens, are entitled to freedom of expression, belief, association, and assembly. In particular, they shall have the right to take part in public discussion of matters concerning the law, the administration of justice, and the promotion and protection of human rights, and to join or form local, national, or international organizations and attend their meetings without suffering professional restriction by reason of their lawful actions or their membership in a lawful organization. In exercising these rights, lawyers shall always conduct themselves in accordance with the law and the recognized standards and ethics of the legal professions. Next, in discussing the role of the Malaysian Bar, no one should pretend that the bar or its members are immune from the effects of politics. The bar has throughout history and tradition assumed the mantle, whether by accident or deliberately, of fighting for numerous causes which are deemed political. The 1988 judicial crisis is one of the examples. Continued opposition towards the International Security Act and Emergency Ordinance and heavy-handed measures to curtail constitutional liberties such as free speech and the right to assembly are other struggles. Upholding the rights of the orang asli is another political cause where a redistribution of the country's resources for the betterment of the indigenous people is sought. Thus, taking up these important matters by extension make the bar a political party and one which is opposed to the government. The bar's statutory purpose in Section 42 of the Legal Profession Act demands that the bar upholds the cause of justice without regards to its own interests or that of its members, uninfluenced by fear or favour. Protection of the public in all matters touching ancillary or accidental to the law is another duty. The bar cannot fail or neglect to perform these statutory obligations. Given that the bar is a apolitical body, which is it does not support any particular political party, it is nevertheless duty-bound to take up political causes. While there are attempts by various quarters to cast aspersion on the action of the Bar Council by continuing attacks that demonize the truth is rather different. It is neither anti-government nor pro-opposition. It is pro-justice and anti-injustice based on the issues in question. The truth is that the annually elected 36-member Bar Council, which leads the 12,600 members Malaysian Bar, has as its members those aligned to political parties on both sides of the divide, which are parties within the Barisan Nasional and Pakatan Rakyat coalitions. Some of card-carrying members of the component parties, some highly influential in these parties, some are sympathizers or supporters of these parties. Therein lies the strength and diversity of the council. So that's it from me in discussing is our Malaysian Bar free from political influence. Thank you.